hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another little random rants. So yeah, see, I don't have a drawing in the background. I have some gameplay because didn't really have a new drawing ready. So this is gameplay from a stream I did of playing Bone Labs. So this is that's why you see the StreamYards logo on there. But yeah, so that's the background stuff I got. Yeah, stay tuned because I do streams like this. If you want to see any gaming streams, if you're interested in that, and like I said, I started playing Bone Labs. And yeah, then I think towards the end I got like stuck because I didn't know how to progress. And then I just started doing like little weird mini game stuff. But I did look up a video and I do know how to progress now. But yeah, so if I do a second stream, I'll know how to get past to the other levels. But yeah, that's sparkling water here. But today I'm gonna be talking about the Mario movie because I've been wanting to talk about the Mario movie for a little bit now. Yeah, so first, I'm gonna first be discussing kind of just like my general thoughts on it, just kind of what I think of the movie in general, and then I will be kind of going into a little bit of speculation. I want to kind of speculate on what they could be doing in the future, with this series of movies. Because if this movie does well, obviously they're gonna want to make more in the same kind of vein. Sorry, I'm thirsty. So yes, that's what I kind of want to speculate about. But first, let's go into kind of what I think of the movie so far, based off So if you don't know, they've released 2 full-length trailers, and then since they've released several TV spots in different countries. So I've been seeing I even saw I think recently there's some soccer clip, some clip related to the soccer games that have been going on with Luigi chasing a soccer ball or something, but he trips over it and then kills a dry bones. But yeah, that's been looking cool. So I kind of just want to talk about so what I think of the movie so far. I think it looks great. I think it looks like it will probably be the best a Mario movie can be. I think it's probably gonna be the best Mario movie. Now, what I mean by that is I don't mean it's gonna be the best movie in the world, right? So this ain't gonna be Martin Scorsese stuff level stuff, but it's gonna be the best, like I said, a Mario movie can be. Because like I said, when translating games into movies, there's always gonna be something a little bit lost in translation, right? Because you're going from a form that's interactive to a form that's observatory, if that makes sense. And Mario in particular doesn't seem like something that should translate super well into a movie, if that makes sense. Mario's not known for groundbreaking storytelling, right? This is why I'm not super fond of Just Too Good's opinion on the Mario movie, if you've seen his reactions, because he is a big Mario fan. He has said that, which I'm doubting a little bit, but I do believe he's a Mario fan. But he also is a big movie guy, which I would consider myself a bit of a movie guy myself. But I understand that this is gonna be a Mario movie, right? If you're gonna be faithful to Mario, it kind of has to be simple, and it kind of has to be. The appeal doesn't come from the insane storytelling or yada yada whatever. It's gonna come from fun, lively music, fun kind of, I would say, action. Kind of, yeah, a fun movie that's more aimed towards a younger audience, because that's what Mario is. Let's be honest, Mario isn't some groundbreaking thing. It's an Italian plumber who fights a giant turtle monster. Okay, it's nothing serious. So, and I think this movie is doing Mario a lot of justice. Like I said, based off the few trailers, it looks like, especially based off that clip at the Game Awards and how they used the music, integrating all that different Mario music, I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be definitely, like I said, very entertaining in a kind of a Mario sort of way. And like I said, I just think that alone is gonna make the movie very enjoyable for Mario fans and also enjoyable for kids. It's probably not gonna be the most enjoyable thing for maybe critics, I guess, Just Too Good. People want some groundbreaking thing like Ratatouille. But like I said, this is Mario. But yeah, so I think it's probably gonna be the best a Mario movie can be. That being said, and also to address the voices, I think they all sound great. to be honest. I think they all sound pretty good. Obviously, Charlie Day is Luigi, amazing. I've said that before. I think that works perfectly. Jack Black as Bowser, I didn't think would work. Works way better than I thought it would. I didn't think, like I said, when going into it, and I heard Jack Black, I know everyone's excited about it. I'm like, oh, I don't think Jack Black really fits Bowser. But hearing his voice, I remember there's this like clip of me on my live stream with like my mouth like wide open because it was like my honest, genuine reaction when hearing Jack. I was not expecting Jack Black to actually produce that voice, so I was genuinely shocked, and I think it sounds great. Keegan Michael Key, I think sounds great. I don't know if they have some voice changer on him. I think they might have something that pitch his voice up because I don't know if that's his actual voice. The but I still think it sounds great. Peach sounds good. Not as high pitched as Peach usually is, but I think it works because it feels super high pitched the entire time. That would have been kind of graining. And then Mario, we haven't heard Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong yet. Kind of disappointed on that. But Mario himself sounds, that's the kind of the controversial one. A lot of people don't like how it sounds. I think it sounds fine. I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, he doesn't sound enthusiastic. Oh, yada yada yada. A lot of people are giving Chris Pratt a lot of crap with this one, which I kind of get it. It is supposed to be Mario, one of the most iconic characters of all time. So I kind of understand where the criticism's coming from. Although I do think people are giving him way too much crap. I don't think it sounds nearly as bad as some people think it sounds. Like I said, I think it sounds fine. I think Chris Pratt, it doesn't sound obviously like Mario, right? Not the Italian kind of Mario, but it has that kind of, little bit of Brooklyn. He still sounds, optimistic. I think that's the best way to put it. I think because if you listen to him as Emmett, I think that really kind of, amplifies how he could do Mario or how Mario should sound as, Chris Pratt's Mario. Just kind of that with a little bit of Brooklyn. I think it works. I think he sounds what's it called? Yeah, optimistic, if that makes sense. Because I think that's kind of one of the attributes you gotta kind of put on Mario. Mario's got optimism and cheeriness, and also, when he's getting hit. I want to, and he did do a Wahoo, and the Wahoo did actually sound pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. When he did the Wahoo, it didn't sound bad. So yeah, that's my opinions on the voices. I think they all sound pretty good. Chris Pratt maybe isn't the best, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as people are saying it is, in my opinion. All right, so that's kind of my thoughts on the movie. I think it's gonna be great. Can't wait to hear Seth Rogen, and can't wait to see it. So now let's get on to kind of what I wanted to talk about here a little bit is kind of speculation on where they can go next. Obviously, like I said, so the only things we know about currently, right, with regards to spinoffs and sequels, well, we know this Mario movie's coming out, right? And I think there was a rumor, I don't know if this is like definitive fact, but I know there was a rumor that they were going to make a Donkey Kong spinoff, which I think would be really cool to get a Donkey Kong spinoff personally. I forgot to talk about the designs. I think designs, before I get on to that, sorry. The designs I think all look pretty good. I think Luigi at certain angles looks a little strange, but seeing it all in motion, that's the thing with all these designs. When they're still, they look a little bit uncanny, but I think in motion they all work. Okay, but let me get back to the DK spinoff. I think that's a great idea, the Donkey Kong spinoff, because that's, I think, the most logical spinoff to make, right? Because Donkey Kong is still obviously in the Mario universe, but he has so much of his own mythos, right? With like the Donkey Kong Country games and all that stuff. So, it would make it, really easy to make his own movie because he has a lot of source material to work with, right? Like I said, the Donkey Kong Country, all this sort of stuff. So it works, in my opinion, to have a Donkey Kong movie. I think it would be cool if they called it Donkey Kong Country, but I don't know. And like I said, in the trailer, we did see the kind of Donkey Kong Nation a little bit. We did get to see Cranky Kong. he seems to be like kind of the king or the ruler of the Donkey Kong Nation, which is new to the Donkey Kong lore. I don't think they've ever had that before with him being a king. I think that works. And it would be really, I think it would be really cool to see. We have seen, I think in one of the posters, we have seen that that Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong both exist. So, in this movie in some form, probably just still be in the background. But we did see him in a poster. So it would be really cool to see that. And yeah, and I think if they brought in King K. Rool to be the villain, that would be amazing. I would love to see that. I don't know who they would get to voice that. If they wanted to still stick with the whole celebrity voicing thing. But yeah, I would love to see that. I think that would be great. Seeing King K. Rool and the Kremlings. They could obviously go with some new villain or something, but I think if they wanted to stick true with kind of the lore, which it seems like they have been. They've been obviously, like I said, Nintendo's been working on these on the Mario movie. I believe they would still work on the DK movie, so I think they would still want to be faithful to the Donkey Kong Country games. So I believe they would bring in King K. Rool and yeah, but I think that would be really cool. So yeah, what was I saying? Just forgot. Yeah, so the Donkey Kong spinoff, I think great idea. I think that's a no-brainer. They should do that, right? Other spinoffs they could do, I think they could do a Luigi's Mansion movie. I think that would kind of be interesting. Because that's another kind of Mario spinoff that has a bit more of its own like characters and mythos, if that makes sense. Because you have the whole thing with EGAD and the mansion, and that's all mostly separate. All those ghosts and whatnot. It's mostly separate from Mario, right? And I think that could be a cool spin-off. I think that could even work as maybe like a mini series or a show. But I think because I don't know for sure if they wouldn't make a full movie about that, because it wouldn't really be that important to like the Mario kind of lore, because that's the thing with Luigi's Mansion. He gets the mansion, Mario gets trapped, and he saves Mario by the end of the movie. Yeah, I think it would be kind of a little bit generic, but it would be really cool to see more of Charlie Day's Luigi, because it looks like he's not going to be in the movie much. Because it looks like instead of Peach getting captured, Luigi's going to get captured, right? And then he's going to be the one who needs to be saved. So it looks like he probably won't be in the movie much. So it would be cool to get a movie that is solely focused on Charlie Day's Luigi, and you get to see him, more, and maybe that's in this movie he can go through a little bit of a character arc of not being such a wuss, Obviously, you still have to keep him a bit of a wuss because that's his whole, appeal in the Mario kind of universe. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to get a Luigi's Mansion spinoff. I think it's a little bit less likely, especially compared to the Donkey Kong stuff. But yeah, I think it could. It could happen, and that's another idea. I can't. No, in regards to other spinoffs, obviously, you got like a Toad spinoff. I think that's a bit less likely. If I'm being completely honest, I kind of don't see that happening because, I mean, they do have the Captain Toad. Is it games or game? I don't remember if they made a second one or if it was just... I think they made a remake for the Switch. They have the Captain Toad stuff. But I don't know. I mean, except for Toad having a backpack, there's nothing really super unique about, like, what would the plot even be? It's a bit weird. Maybe... Yeah, I don't think that... I think that's the least likely out of all the possible spin-offs they could make. Is a... and like I said, I just kind of don't see that happening. Now that we're kind of done with the spin-offs, let's talk about what ideas for, a sequel to the Mario movie could look like. Now, I do have a few ideas on this. Now, first, I think the first idea is it could just be like a direct sequel, right? And what I mean by that, it means that, I don't think they're going to kill off Bowser. I don't think they're going to do that. Because Bowser is kind of one of those villains you're going to want to keep around for a while. So I think they're going to keep around Bowser, right? But what I think they're going to do So they're gonna keep on Bowser so he could, like I said, be in the sequel. And what they could do for a sequel, I think the first option, like I said, just a direct sequel where it's just Bowser is still alive, he wants to take over again. Maybe he gets a new MacGuffin, and then the Mario Bros have to go stop him again, right? So something like that, where it's just a little. It's like the first movie, but kind of again, if that makes sense. They could do that, right? The other option is have a sequel that's more kind of directly connected to an actual game, right? Meaning, like, for a sequel, they make it sort of like, I think the most likely one is a Galaxy sequel, a Mario Galaxy, because we already have information that they are going to include a Luma of some kind in this movie, because of a McDonald's toy leak. So that's the thing. So they could include, like I said, a Luma, and then have it, so when they include the Luma, they could tease for the sequel. It's going to be like a Mario Galaxy thing, right? Where it's going to be Mario and Luigi exploring the galaxy, meeting up with Rosalina, having to stop Bowser because he found the Galaxy MacGuffin. That could be a definite idea for a sequel, and they could just call it Mario Galaxy, right? Or I don't know if they would call it Mario Galaxy the movie. I don't know, but that could be an idea. Is take it into space, and I think they've been kind of teasing that in the trailer with like, in this universe there's tons of galaxies, or whatever, right? I think that's definitely a plausible idea. Could base it off some other games. Sunshine would be interesting. Mario goes to, and I don't know if they would, like I said, I don't think it's the most compelling for a full on movie, because it's kind of like Mario goes to an island, cleans up the island, and then fights Bowser. I don't know if that's the most interesting thing in the world. It could happen, right? So I think Sunshine, or like I said, something like Odyssey, where they are kind of incorporating a little bit of Odyssey stuff with like the city and whatnot. But I think, Odyssey could work. I don't think it would work as good as like something like Galaxy would. But like I think that's definitely one they could do, is just directly base it off a game, or they could do like a sort of combo of a few things, right? I think actually no, Odyssey could work because there's a lot of different locations in Odyssey, and they could be, like I said, instead of it being about, well, I guess this first movie is probably gonna have a lot of locations too, but I think, like I said, a sequel directly based off kind of one of the games could work very well, like I said, or it could be like, what I was trying to say, like a combo of certain games, like it could be in space, but they could also introduce elements from Odyssey. Maybe they can introduce some villains from Odyssey, but it could still be in space. They could like kind of switch up the mythos, because they have been switching up the mythos a little bit, like I said, with the Cranky Kong stuff, him being like kind of the leader of the DK Island, and things like that. So I definitely think it could work, for its benefit, having a movie that that introduces, like I said, different elements from different games. But either way, I do think they're probably gonna make a direct sequel at some point, whether or not it's based off. I think the most likely option is gonna be based off Galaxy, because that just kind of seems like where they're going, and it also seems like it would just kind of be the most interesting option to do. Mario, Luigi in space. Like I said, maybe they might want to save that for a third movie, and maybe the second movie is a bit more, low key, maybe based off a bit more of Odyssey, a bit more exploring the world. And I definitely think they're not going to introduce a new villain. I definitely think they're going to keep the villain as Bowser, because I don't really see a world where Bowser dies and they try to, introduce. I can't even think of a lot of other good Mario villains, but I don't really see a world where they try to introduce a different villain or something. And I also don't think Bowser's going to become a good guy either, right? I don't think Bowser is going to be like, have a change of heart and be like, I don't want to take over the world, or whatever. I think he's still going to be a villain, and when he survives, he's going to stay a villain for the next movie. Like I said, I don't think he's going to become an ally anytime soon. He might eventually, because of him and like the Mario Party games and whatnot. If they wanted to do, I don't think they would ever do a Mario Party movie. That would kind of be a little stupid. They are implementing elements from the spin-off games. Like you said, you got the Mario Kart, but I still don't think they're gonna fully, be like, yeah, we want to do a full Mario Golf movie. I don't think they're gonna do anything like that. I think they're gonna stick to mainline games, and if they are, they're gonna, I can't speak. Implement elements from the spin-offs. They kind of, implement it into the plot as references and whatnot. So that's what I think they're gonna do. Most likely, like I said, they're gonna keep Bowser alive. He's gonna stay. And one thing I do appreciate, about Bowser being in the movie, is that, it's really nice. It's kind of refreshing to have an animated movie with actual character. An animated movie with an actual villain in it. Because nowadays with a lot of anime movies, you either have kind of like, especially Disney, you have either a cop out villain, fake villain, like a villain who's not actually the villain, a twist villain, a redeemable villain, all this kind of BS. Well, I'm kind of glad in the Mario movie, we're getting Bowser, and Bowser's like I said, I hope he doesn't get a redemption arc or nothing. I kind of want Bowser to just kind of be a straight up villain, which is gonna be great, because there's even rumors he's gonna have like a villain, like I think Jack Black even hinted that he's gonna have a villain song in this, which I am so hyped for. Like a Bowser villain song, that is like that. Not gonna lie, that's gonna be so cool. And Jack Black can sing too. Imagine Jack Black singing as bro. Like if this is done well, this could be like the new what's it called? This could be like the new Be Prepared from like Lion King. Like this could be sick, okay? This could be I'm kind of hyped. Maybe I'm hyping myself up a little bit too much, but just this could be so sick to actually have like I said, a straight up villain, nothing, no cop out or nothing, and I couldn't be more hyped for that. So yeah, I'm super hyped to see Bowser, have his villain song, do his villain stuff. But yeah, that's my opinion on all the spin-offs they could do. So just to recap, I think they're definitely going to do the Donkey Kong. They might do Luigi's Mansion. And then for a straight-up sequel, I think they're probably going to go with a Mario Galaxy or some combination of like some of the newer games. Just implementing elements from some of the other games to kind of make just to make an interesting second film. And then maybe they'll also do a third. I don't know. And like I said, I don't know what other spin-offs they could do. And I do believe they'll probably still stay with, I don't know if they're going to stay with Illumination or not. I don't know how the rights work with that. Because I think Nintendo has, opened up their own animation studio. So I don't know exactly if they're going to, like I said, they have opened up their own animation studio. So I don't know if they're going to go away from Illumination or not. And just, do it all themselves. I don't know if they can do it all themselves yet, because it is, relatively new, and Illumination is obviously, as much as, people who like anime films don't like Illumination. Illumination is very experienced and can make stuff that does visually look good. Maybe their style is a bit, too Illumination-y, but like I said, their textures, and they do make good looking stuff on a bit of a budget. So, so that's my opinion. If you guys, comment down below, tell me your opinion on the Mario movie. What do you think of it? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Do you think they're going to make more after this? This movie's obviously going to be super successful, even if the movie somehow ends up being bad. Even like if, all the good scenes we've seen in the trailer that's it, and then the rest is just pop culture stuff. Even if that's the case, this movie's still gonna like make crap ton of money, and just kind of be, I think it's gonna be great, but it's still gonna make money because, like I said, because how well known Mario is. Mario is kind of one of the most iconic characters, almost one of the, I would say, most iconic characters of all time. So it's gonna be a good movie for sure. And if you guys liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and do all the good stuff. And tell me what you think of the Mario movie down below. And make sure to go watch the 2011 film Rango. It's a very good film. All right, see y'all. Ciao. Bye-bye.